I'm really happy to be here with Vicky today, who is the founder of Hone Leadership. Vicky Regan is a award-winning leadership coach dedicated to helping women lead authentically and with impact. With over 25 years of leadership and executive experience, she specializes in unlocking women's potential at every stage of leadership. Vicky holds an advanced PCC credential from the International Coaching Federation and certifications in executive and leadership coaching, making her a trusted expert in navigating complex leadership challenges. Vicky, it's so good to have you with us today.
Hi, Michael. It's so great to be here. Thank you so much for having me on your channel today.
Oh, you're very welcome. I've been looking forward to this conversation for quite a while, actually. So
Me
it's
too.
gonna be a lot of fun. So I'd love to just jump in and ask you the first question, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. You had a successful career in sales, ultimately leading to executive roles. Why did you leave that successful career to become an executive and leadership coach?
Yeah, I think it was two reasons, actually. I had been in the same career basically my entire professional career, and I really loved it for a lot of reasons. And I felt over time that the things that I really actually loved about it was developing the people. And
Mm,
I loved seeing how people developed, especially in their leadership roles. And that became really my focus, or the thing that really drove me and gave me the most satisfaction in my work. And then on the other side of it, I had also spent my entire really working life in mentorship for women. And
mm,
so, early on, I want to say probably 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago, I had started an organization for women in technology. And the root of that was in mentorship and it's sort of community for women. And that gave me so much fulfillment, and I just loved it. And that sort of over time just developed sort of almost as this parallel path, really. And I just kept going with that. And it was always on the side.
mm,
And then through that, I would start, ERGs at the companies that I worked with. And internally, I would start internal mentoring programs at the companies I worked with. And it was interesting, I never thought those two could intersect. I
mm,
never really thought that I could join those, those two
mm.
things. And then eventually it just kind of hit me like, wait a minute, I could blend these two things. And so once I did, and I really started thinking, hey, wait a minute, I'm not really truly living authentically or working authentically. And once I kind of made that connection, it was a no-brainer for me to make that leap.
I mentioned in your introduction that you have a PCC credential with
Mhm.
the ICF. What some people might not realize is that you had an ACC at one point, but within 14 months, you had gotten the PCC credential. How
Mhm.
did you do it so fast?
I did. Once I got my ACC, as you mentioned, I, had that goal for the next year. And so I really, really was intentional about how I did it. But also, there are two reasons that made it possible. Number one, being a member of the Center for Executive Coaching really lays the foundation for their members to be able to do that at the pace that we can,
Mhm.
right? Because the education, the curriculum, you are getting a solid foundation, and you're getting enough hours in your curriculum to make that happen. So that's the first thing that facilitates that.
Mhm.
The second thing is my practice took off quickly. And so I was doing a lot of coaching. And
Mhm.
so I got my hours quickly.
Mhm.
And that was by intent, really, is that I really wanted to have that because my strategy for my business was to have my PCC because I wanted to work with companies. And companies really do require a PCC.
For coaches who are watching this interview and saying, okay, so I understand I can get the training hours, but Vicky's business took off and my business hasn't taken off. I can't get the coaching hours like she can. Remember that the ICF allows coaches to coach other coaches, and they consider that as a paid hour. So you could still power ahead and get the number of hours required for PCC. And you actually answered my next question, Vicky, which is, does it make a difference in your business to have a PCC versus an ACC? And it sounds like it does for you.
It 100% does. It
Mm,
100% does because it opens so many doors that would not necessarily be open to you as
hmm
as an ACC credentialed coach, right? Because when I first was formulating my strategy for my revenue streams, I really had this idea that I would have a three-pronged approach for my revenue stream, right? I went into it thinking, okay, I'll have private pay clients, I'll have some kind of a coaching platform as one of my revenue streams, and then I'll have a corporate clients.
hmm
And I thought I had this percentage broken down, but once I got into it, I thought, okay, now that I understand how everything works, I'm going to have to change my strategy because the coaching platforms required a PCC, at least the ones I wanted to work with required PCC, and a lot of corporate clients also required a PCC. So that first year, I really had to change my strategy and my approach for client acquisition. And so a lot of what I did really was lead generation on private pay. That's why I got so many hours very, very quickly. And it wasn't all bartering, but going from the ACC, which is 100 hours, which you can barter a lot,
hmm
to 500, that took some work, but it's totally doable. So for all of the maybe newer people considering coaching, it is 100% doable. You just have to be intentional about your strategy.
Maybe you have a good mentor too. Seems like that person was also helpful to you.
Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of things because I think I was undershooting
Mm,
my approach to, pricing and all of those different things that I was a little nervous. I was a little apprehensive. How much should I be charging? And all of
mhm,
these things. And even though I had a career in sales and in sales leadership and on large scale deals, I still felt a little uncomfortable asking for certain price points when it was for me.
mhm,
It's a very different type of ask. But when you're sort of coached in that way and to sort of reframe that, and actually when you do ask for more, you're talking about your value and the value of what you're providing, all of a sudden that price can go up. And that's when you can start getting more engagements. And it's a game changer, right? So, but making those types of switches actually improves your business and it
mhm.
improves the quality, everything. And then you really see your business go up.
Super interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks, Vicky, for sharing that. Now, I know that you focus primarily on women leaders in tech and business. Why did you decide to make that your focus?
Well, I mean, for a niche, really, you want to have some undeniable authority is really what you want. And to have that, I spent my career in that. And I feel like, it's a natural fit. I understand the challenges of my clients
Mhm.
very, very well. And since it's, we're talking about 24% of people in tech are women and leaders in tech are women. Um, so it really mattered, and I was personally driven to help women in tech to succeed and overcome obstacles and challenges and really thrive in their careers. I will say that it's my business has really evolved. And I would say that as a piece of advice for anybody is to be adaptable and to be open to the ways your business can evolve and change because it does often evolve and change in wonderful ways. So I
Mhm.
have clients from all different industries that would be very surprising. It surprised me. And it surprised me also when a lot of men clients approached me and said, I'm interested in working with you because I have the same challenges. Or, I had a male leader who came to me and said, I run a very large tech organization and I read very male,
Hmm.
and I need to be able to lead a diverse team. And I'm facing challenges. So that's when it kind of started. But now I have male leaders who approach me on just, you know, leadership topics in general. But some of my clients, I support a lieutenant commander in the Navy whose goal was she's third in command of a warship, and her goal was to be able to be promoted to command her own warship. And she, achieved that, which was amazing. But her challenges were very similar to the challenges of women in tech, honestly. And
Yeah.
so it's been really interesting to see that evolution.
Mhm.
Um, Now I work with actually a lot of government entities. And the spectrum is really wide, and it is so interesting and so fulfilling every single day. But yeah, it does evolve. The process evolves.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more on that. I see that you're a certified woman-owned small business. Was it hard to get that certification?
Yes. Well, the thing is, it's really a legal process.
Mm.
So it is, twofold. You have to, for a certified women-owned business, it's actually, if you go on the website, I highly recommend, first of all, I highly recommend everyone do this. On the website, it says it's a 90-day process. It took me 11 months almost to the day.
Yeah.
First of all, you have to become a certified registered entity with the US federal government,
Mm.
first off.
Mm.
And then once you have that, you then start your process to be a certified woman-owned business. But I would highly recommend doing that because it's a wonderful support organization. First of all, it's a wonderful networking organization, and it's important to certain companies, certainly the government, certainly just in general to have that. I think is a wonderful opportunity and very, very valuable. Absolutely free. It's just time. It's
Right.
just yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I went through the process to become a diverse business enterprise in California, and exactly, it just takes a little while
Yeah.
to gain the certification. I had to turn in a lot of paperwork
Yeah.
to get that certification, but I think it's absolutely worth it. It just distinguishes you with companies that are interested in doing work with diverse businesses, women-owned small businesses, LGBTQ owned businesses, minority business enterprises like mine. And so why not give yourself a little extra edge, right?
Why not? Absolutely. And it's just really important. And there, like as I said, it's just like with the PCC or any other designation, there not everybody is going to be, interested in that or the certification for a certain type of own business, but there are some where it is very important
Mhm.
and it makes the difference. So if you can, why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Now that's something that you can deliberately go about getting.
Mhm.
What you can't necessarily decide, I'm going to get this, is a Coach of the Year award. In 2014, I was blessed with receiving a Coach of the Year award. In 2024, you were blessed with receiving a Coach of the Year award. What was that like?
Amazing. Because it's, coaching, of course, it's not about any accolades. It's, most of us do it because we genuinely have a driver in us that where we want to support others, and we
Yeah.
have that sort of thing in us where that's what we love to do, right? And it's very fulfilling. But it's a really it's a wonderful it's a wonderful recognition for what we do. So, and especially from the organization. Um, that I received it from, and I was very, very, very proud of it. And so for me also, it's a testament to my clients who are the ones that are achieving their results and going out every single day and doing the things that they're doing, and they're doing very courageous things of trying to go out and achieve their goals, sometimes against very difficult obstacles. And so it really is a testament to them, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah.
uh, Other coaches aspire to be published authors. And this is also an area that you have a little bit of experience in too, Vicky. I know that you were a published author and contributing to one book that was an Amazon bestseller, and that was called Women Who Win. And I guess there's a brand new one that you're also a contributing author to called The Coaching Corner. Uh,
Yep.
how has this come about that you've been able to contribute to two books?
Yes, thanks for bringing it up. And actually, the Coaching Corner just came out, launched, and it is officially today also an Amazon bestseller. I'm so excited to
Wow.
forward. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's just a really exciting thing. They're collaboration books. And so, which made it an easier lift, though still, extremely time consuming. But it's kind of a fun process because I'm working with other people to make that happen. But it's great because I can select a topic that I'm passionate about. And on Women Who Win, um, it's a diverse perspective from global authors, which is great, on success strategies for women, which is obviously in my wheelhouse
Oh
and something
yeah.
I'm very passionate about. So
Mhm.
for me on that one, it was my chapter I wrote about the adaptability advantage, and that was for women leaders who, can use adaptability and resiliency to, as their superpower on how to lead more effectively. Um, and it's just something that I really, really enjoy. So when I saw the opportunity, I was approached for this opportunity. I thought, this is something I really, really want to do.
Mhm.
Um, Again, it just kind of ties in with the whole mentorship piece of how I can better enable women. And the one that just came out with the Coaching Corner, I specifically wrote it about mentorship for women,
Mm.
which of course that's my passion and my the thing that still is a huge part of what I do. And even though it's adjunct to my coaching business, it still is a huge part of who I am now. It's in my business. I dedicate 15% of my overall time in my business to pro bono work, pro bono coaching and
Mm.
leadership development. And so this kind of that mentorship piece is a part of that. And so that's why that chapter is so important to me, to focus on that instead of, say, my coaching business in that book, which I probably could have done. But honestly, I really wanted the the mentorship piece to be in that book, and that's called the ripple effect. And I really wanted to encourage others to mentor because it's important. And you're a mentor, really. You mentor all of us in the
I
CEC.
do. I do like to do that.
You
Yeah.
do, and
Absolutely.
you've been a great mentor to me too. So it's just such an important it's such an important thing. So yeah, it's been an exciting thing for me to do is the writing piece.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people as coaches, we kind of pick these different sort of, I don't want to say side things, but some people do a lot of public speaking.
Hmm.
Some people do different areas, podcasting, whatever it might be. I haven't done that really, but I do like to write and do these types of things, and it's brings me a lot of joy.
I think you just hit on something really important, which is that I do recommend that coaches find their platform for expressing their thought leadership, right? Whether it's publishing in books or blogging, or as you said, podcasting, public speaking. I like to put videos on YouTube, obviously. Coaches should choose some platform that they can be more visible and discoverable
Mhm.
because it's just going to support the growth of your business. And this kind of leads me into my next question, which is that many coaches come to me and ask me, like, what should I focus on in my first year? Like, I've just set up my independent coaching practice, and there's so many things that I could do. What should I hone in on to make my first year perhaps maybe more successful? Do you have any advice for a newer coach like that?
Yeah, I think that's a really, really good question because I think this is where people might, in their first year, might go astray.
Hmm.
Especially, you really want to focus on the right things because there's so much out there
Hmm.
that if you take a spray and pray approach, you can really go sideways really, really quickly. Um, Especially if you are you you do have we as coaches we have that inner drive to help and support people. If you double down and over index on that piece, you could very quickly, your business could fail. You
Hmm.
need to be able to run a profitable business as well. So the first thing would be, of course, your mastery of coaching. So are you pursuing, where do you need to be at your coaching level in order to drive your business? Does it align with your business development? So do you need your ACC, your PCC? Does that not matter for your clientele? Where do you need to be there with your coaching? Do you want to be a team coach? All those things. How does that factor in? The second would be, your visibility. How are you, what platform are you going to have?
Hmm.
Are you going to spread do you want to be on social and this and that and the other thing and all of these things that spread you too thin?
Hmm.
Where do you want to focus your time? How are you going to leverage your strengths in doing that? If you are not a public speaker, and and you're saying I'm going to be on every platform where I can speak and do all my podcasting and do blogs and do social media, but you're not great at all of those things, maybe we should target down and get really great in one area first.
Hmm.
The other thing is, how are you going to run your business? Those things are super important. If you have not figured out how to run all those components, you need to figure out those things really quickly. One of the best pieces of advice that I followed of yours immediately was the Acadium resource.
Hmm.
So having an internship of some kind really helped me. And I use interns all the time. And that really, really helped. I think because I come from a startup world, I knew all the components of how to run a business.
Hmm.
So I became the IT guy. I became the accounting person. I became all of these things. And the things that I didn't know, I learned quickly. You have to. Those are super important. I would say also build your support network. So I really believe in a personal advisory board. Who are the people who are your trusted advisors that you can go to for unfiltered, tell it like it is feedback. So you can give them something you've written or something you're working on, and they can tell you, yeah, mm-mm. That's, you know what,
You do need to hear that at times.
you need to hear that so that you don't want people telling you that everything's great.
Hmm.
You just don't. You
Yeah.
need to focus on that. But I would focus on those things and not get too distracted. Like set those goals, be intentional, be strategic on what it is that you want to accomplish because it's really easy to
if coaches would follow this advice that you've shared with them, their first year is likely to be more successful because of it. And this idea of getting support from the personal advisory board as well as support through internships. You mentioned a mentor earlier. Also partnering with other CEC coaches, perhaps. There are a wealth of resources out there, but decide what's going to be best for you and not get too spread thin, as you said. I think that's so much good advice there. Thank you, Vicky.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's so much to it. It's really, we think about supporting our clients, which of course is it's so important, and we all love this part of the job so much. I love it so much. I wake up so happy every single day.
Mm-hmm.
I love it every single day. There is another piece of it, right? There's the business side of what we do, and we have to be mindful of it. It is true if the old adage, if you love what you do, you never work a day. I don't know that I really fully agree with that. I mean, I love what I do so much. I'm passionate, I'm dedicated, I'm so committed every single day, but I'm very aware that I am working, you know,
Running a
I
business.
I work I work,
Hmm.
I work a lot, but I
Yeah.
love it. I
Hmm.
love it every day, so you just have to be mindful of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's the truth there is do what you love and you'll certainly enjoy the business that you
Yeah,
run and you'll be able to do it for the rest of your life.
absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think people can feel your enthusiasm right through the video, Vicky. There's no doubting that Vicky has found her calling after a few years, but she's found it and now she's able to do it and enjoy it. I hope this video has been helpful to you as you watched this, and you can learn more about Vicky by going to her website, which is
Honeleadership.com.
all right. Well, thank you very much for being with us today, Vicky. I really enjoyed this time with you.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. I've enjoyed it too.